What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Let's get right into it. Today I'm going to be talking about the company Adobe. They're going to be releasing Q2 earnings on June 11th, so put that in your calendar. Stock ticker is ADBE. Let's take a look at their business model. Adobe provides apps for creatives to go ahead and create and design, edit, which is really great, especially right now with this, since we're in the social media era. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Taking a look at the weekly chart, we see the stock price is above the 200-day moving average, which is the black line, and also the 50-day moving average, which is the red line. Also, we see that the company, for those who are familiar with technical analysis, the company is forming a cup with handle base pattern. Also, the company right now is trading at 166 billion. It's 11% off its 52-week high. So let's move on to the daily chart to take a better look at the handle or the pattern. And we can see that the stock has been in a choppy price moving pattern as it's forming this base. And that's not anything surprising considering the COVID-19 event that we're in right now, or situation that we're in right now. But what I really want you guys to take a look at is the yearly chart and really take a look at the company stock price before 2013 and after, right? So before 2013, the company really wasn't doing much, but after 2013, it really skyrocketed. And the reason for that is actually because two things happened. The first one being Facebook bought Instagram for $1 billion. And then the second thing that happened is actually Adobe kills this creative suite, and which they were licensing that at $2,500, and they moved to a subscription model for $50 a month. And so what is that going to do for the consumer? It's going to give them ability to actually try out Adobe instead of making a big purchase like that, and also is going to allow them to try out new software as well. So it definitely worked out as we see in hindsight, which is always 2020. Just some more company news. The company partnered up with Microsoft, which is definitely great for both parties. Microsoft having the data analytics, also the Azure cloud, and Adobe just bringing its creative solutions and kind of them bridging that together. I think is definitely gonna work well for them, but we'll see. Also, Adobe created a new digital economy index to measure how that growth is, because it's still fairly new, this creative economy which we're in, and also this digital economy that we're in. And you guys can go ahead and take a look at that, which is highlighted in the red border. Also, Adobe announces availability of Experience Manager as a cloud service, so they're just bringing more value to consumers. And Gartner rated Adobe a leader in the digital experience platform. So you can see that Adobe is leading its industry, and you can also see that its competitors as well. So we're going to move on to the financial statements. Taking a look at that, we'll see for the 3-year just annualized growth revenue grew at 24%, operating income around 30%, net income 36%. Let's look at profitability. Return on assets is 16%, return on equity rounded up to 32%, return on invested capital about 22.6%, and net margin 28%. So the company is definitely very profitable. It's been operating very well. So let's take a look at the income statement now, and we see for 2019 revenue is $11 billion, operating income about $3.27 billion, net income rounded up to $3 billion. Diluted EPS, earnings per share, is $6 per share. Let's look at gross margin. The company has a gross margin of 85%, which is really good. Definitely would like to see it back to 2010 numbers, closer to the 90% range, but hey, you can't argue with 85%. Now let's look at operating margin, which has been fairly consistent over the past 3 years. It has been increasing, so look forward to that. Hopefully that does continue. Moving on to the balance sheet, the company has a quick ratio of 1, current ratio of 1.23. And just taking a look at total current assets, kind of broke down a couple numbers. Total cash and equivalents is 2.69, and net trade receivables is $1.4 billion. Moving on to total non-current assets, so goodwill amounted to $10.7 billion. Just wanted to make a note of that. And moving on to current liabilities, the company had deferred liabilities of $3.5 billion, and I really believe that is what they have to service to customers. So kind of just fulfilling the subscriptions and all other payments that they receive, and that they just have to go ahead and provide the service to. Also, just moving on to total non-current liabilities, notes payable equated to $4.11 billion, which also can be in the total current liabilities as well. There probably is some notes payable which are current that the company does have to pay. Moving on to the cash flow statement. So in the operating activities, depreciation was $740 million. Stock-based compensation was $790 million. Moving on to the investing activities, we see CapEx came out to close to $400 million. And financing, the company had purchased $2.75 billion worth of stock back. So definitely adding value to shareholders. So now I want to move on to management, talk about them for a little bit. So the company's CEO is Shantanu Narayan. He joined Adobe in 1998 as a senior vice president, and he became CEO in 2007. So he's definitely headed the company through its transition, and he's been doing a great job at it. The CFO is John Murphy, and he's been with Adobe since 2017. Before that, you can see he's been working with DirecTV, also with Qualcomm as well, and he's been doing a great job as far as just the company's finances go. Now let's take a look at this CTO. So I believe it's pronounced Ape Parasnis, and he's very important to Adobe. He is the head of their R&D department. He's also focused on AI, machine learning, immersive data, everything that's going to propel Adobe forward as far as this product goes and technology goes. This guy is definitely there. He definitely was working with Microsoft, is working with Microsoft in their partnership as well. I believe he's one of the main guys in that partnership. So and also he spent a decade at Microsoft as well. So he does have connects over there, right? So just want to go ahead and look at the CPO now, which is the Chief Product Officer, and this is Scott Belsky, and he's really just focused on making the Creative Cloud a more creative platform. He joined Adobe in 2017. He's also a venture investor at Benchmark in San Francisco. So this guy, he's been with Adobe, and he's been working with them for quite some time. So that's it for Adobe, guys. Once again, thank you guys for watching my video. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on my next video. Thank you.